Hi there, I'm Willy Wormhead and welcome to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'd like to talk to you about picking up stitches from a slit stitch selvage. All right, now I have a video tutorial showing you two ways to create a slit stitch selvage, and I'll link to that. Um, the reason why I like this selvage treatment is, well, actually, there's several reasons why I like this selvage treatment. One, because it's pretty. It does look nice, especially against garter stitch. I use it mostly with garter stitch because I work in garter stitch a lot, but you don't have to just use it with garter stitch. Secondly, it perfectly matches a crochet cast-on, which I'll also link to. I've got a tutorial for that, and the standard bind off. And when you use them all together, you get this really lovely finish all the way around your project. It really kind of gets polishes it and make it look nice and refined. I love it. Using them together looks really good. The other reason is that it makes picking up stitches really easy. Whether you're going to do a modular project and take those stitches off in another direction, or whether you're just picking up those stitches to, I don't know, maybe put a different finish on the edge, like maybe work an I-cord all the way around or something. I don't know. Whatever you might need to pick up stitches for. Having this line of V's along your selvage makes picking up stitches really easy because you can see exactly where they are. The V's tell you where you need to pick them up. So let me switch to the overhead and we'll have a little look at the swatch that I've got and I'll talk you through how to do it. Okay, so here I have a swatch that I'm going to demonstrate on. This is one of the motifs from my Short Road Colourwork book. It's just the nearest swatch I had to hand with this particular selvage treatment. This swatch also has a crochet cast on and a standard bind off so that you get that effect that I was talking about with the lovely V's all the way around. Um, and also, let me just apologise for the state of my hands. I'm okay, but I realise that these scratches might be a bit distracting. We've just got new kittens, and they do not know how to control their claws or teeth yet. And I'm probably going to be apologising about my hands for the next few, however many videos until they grow out of this phase. So I apologise for that distraction, but just to let you know that I'm okay, even if I'm looking a little bit beaten up. So to be able to pick up the stitches along this edge, we need our needle that we're going to be picking up with, and then we need our yarn that we're going to do it with. And I've gone with a nice teal here, so that it's nice and contrasting. Now, picking up is nice and easy. Why? Because the V's tell you exactly where you need to pick up. You literally just pick up underneath each of those V's. Now, in the corner, you want to go right there into that corner stitch. That's probably the place where people get most confused, is the first place to pick up, and you want to go right in there underneath the V and make sure you've caught both legs there. So when you look at this, see if I can bring this up higher. When you are picking up under the V, you are going under both legs like that. Okay. So in the corner, you've got to make sure that you catch both legs too, which is that leg there and there. All right. And then you just pick up and knit. Then you go into the next one underneath the V's and you knit across like that. And it really is that simple. The V's tell you where you want to pick up. You don't have to worry about which part you're picking up because it's all there. As long as you go under the V's, it's done. It's completely different to picking up from another garter stitch selvage. And you get this nice look across the back too. And if you are doing modular knitting, this can actually be really useful because it can help hide your seam. Now let's contrast that with a standard garter stitch edge. Let's grab that needle out there. When you're picking up here, you can pick up from different places. And actually, it's really hard to determine sometimes where you want to pick up from. Do you pick up from there? Do you pick up from there? Either could be right, but using an edge like this takes away that indecision. It makes it easier for you to see where you need to pick up because you just go in under the V and then you carry on like that. All right. Okay, so I've just picked up a whole row across the edge of that selvage. and there's the V's behind, and we are ready to go off in that direction if we want to. But while I'm here, I want to show you how you can pick up stitches if you're turning a corner using either the bind off or the cast on, whichever way around you're doing it. A few of my patterns, the cubetti and the cuboidals, might have you doing this. It helps make a three-dimensional object shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of demonstrate. This is the bind off here, so it's going to be slightly tighter to start with. Bind off usually is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my needle through, and this is all going to be one continuous row, if you like, worked in one piece. We're just going to knit that one there, and it's a little bit tighter in that corner, as I say, because it is the first edge to bind off. And if you find this tight, use a smaller needle. There we go. That's my yarn had split a little. Let's put that back. And then we carry on all the way across, literally doing exactly the same, putting our needle under the V's. As I say, I probably should have a slightly smaller needle here because the bind off is often tighter, but you are literally just putting it under the V's. And then you will be able to work modular projects that say have a square at the top or bottom, like if you're making a cube or a hat, or I don't know, any kind of project that might have a three-dimensional shape that starts with some sort of square or rectangle. And then you would pull them through and you'll be able to work that around. And now you don't have to use circulars. As I say, I like using circulars. I use interchangeables a lot, but you might find this easy with DPNs. And again, as I say, a smaller needle size might have been better to start with the bind off there. But there you go. You can continue doing that around. In fact, you can go all the way around the edge because we've got those matching V's and we know exactly where we're picking up from because they tell us which part of the stitch we need to pick up. All right. I hope that's been helpful. I love modular knitting. It sometimes get a bad press and I really don't know why. I think it's because people think there's lots of finishing and sewing up involved, and this is one of the ways that you can avoid doing that. All of my modular patterns are designed so that you do not have any sewing. You're just picking up stitches and going knitting in another direction. And it opens up a whole new realm of knitting adventures that you can have. If you could do the like, subscribe and hype thing, that would be very much appreciated. And then I'll see you next time. Bye.